Siraj-ud-Daulah was born in 1733 in Murshidabad, the capital of Bengal. His grandfather, Alivardi Khan, was the Nawab of Bengal, a man who fiercely resisted both Maratha invasions and British expansion. As a child, Siraj was Alivardi's favorite. He was raised inside the royal court and groomed for leadership from a young age. In 1756, after Alivardi's death, Siraj ascended the throne at just 23. But his rise came with problems, powerful court rivals, jealous relatives, and a cunning East India Company that had grown too confident. Siraj was bold, decisive, and emotional. He dismissed corrupt officials, tried to control trade, and challenged British fortifications in Calcutta. His short rule was turbulent and set the stage for a confrontation that would change India forever. To the British, Siraj was a threat, impulsive, arrogant, and unpredictable. One of the darkest stories tied to his name is the infamous Black Hole of Calcutta. After retaking Fort William from the British in June 1756, Siraj's forces allegedly imprisoned British officers in a cramped dungeon overnight. The next morning, over 40 were found dead. But many historians now question the story. Was it a massacre or exaggerated colonial propaganda? Still, Siraj made enemies fast. He dismissed powerful ministers, insulted the banking elite, and threatened the business of European traders. His own commander, Mir Zafar, was secretly negotiating with the British. To many in the court, Siraj wasn't a leader, he was a liability. And that sealed his fate. But there's another side to Siraj-ud-Daulah. He was one of the first Indian rulers to stand up to British imperialism. He saw the East India Company for what it truly was, a growing military power cloaked in trade. When the British fortified Fort William without his consent, Siraj marched on Calcutta and retook the city. He tried to limit European control over trade and resisted foreign interference in Bengal's politics. In a world of fragile kings and silent submission, Siraj chose resistance. But his mistake was trust. On the battlefield of Plassey, he was betrayed by his own men Mir Zafar, Rai Durlabh, Jagat Seth, and others. Outnumbered, outmaneuvered, and abandoned, Siraj fled the battlefield only to be captured and killed days later. To many Bengalis today, he is a martyr, not a villain. So, who was Siraj-ud-Daulah really? Historians are divided. British colonial writers portrayed him as a violent, unstable ruler to justify their conquest. But Indian historians, especially in Bengal, see him differently. They argue he was young, idealistic, and betrayed, not incompetent. R.C. Majumdar called him a tragic figure crushed by treachery. Others, like Sushil Chaudhary, highlight how British propaganda shaped Siraj's legacy. In post-independence India and Bangladesh, Siraj has become a symbol of resistance, a martyr who died fighting foreign control. Even today, he represents a question that still echoes in Bengal. What if Siraj had won? Siraj-ud-Daulah ruled for barely a year, but that year changed the course of Indian history. After his fall, Bengal was handed to the British on a silver platter. The riches of Bengal became the fuel for a foreign empire. Was he impulsive? Yes. Young and unprepared? Certainly. But perhaps he was also the last Nawab who dared to defy the company before the age of conquest began. Was Siraj a villain or a flawed hero? The truth lies somewhere in between. What do you think?